Hi Scorpios, welcome to Barefoot Mama Intuitive Reading. This is your reading for the first week of March, potentially the overall for March. So we just had a new moon, which is a wonderful time to begin to manifest. Let me know what you're manifesting. You can tell me in the comments. Also, I'll announce the winner of the free reading giveaway for February in the community page in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. I'd like to use the Oracle cards from the Inner Child deck. This is the first deck of cards I was given when I was pretty young. So it's got a lot of good energy, and it just felt like it was time for Scorpios to have some of that. I'm trying to figure out where to look at the camera. I found you. Sorry, I switched up the view. All right. Spirit, please protect this reading, sending the negative energy back to sender, transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. And we'll just simplify. Amen, amen. So would it be. Oh, the Guardian Angel. Awesome. This card came up in a reading for somebody recently. Let's see what it has to say. Card 14, Temperance, in the traditional tarot. Excuse me. Over the centuries, the 14th card of the major arcana has been depicted as an angel or archangel, often pouring a magical elixir from one cup to another and standing with one foot on solid ground and the other foot in a pool of water. Known as Temperance, this figure represents the unification of spirit and soul energies, and on another turn of the spiral, it represents the alchemical process by which a human personality becomes infused with divine light and wisdom. The Inner Child cards depict the image on the card as a guardian angel, the being who watches over the evolution of a child and protects and heals it during time of crisis. That's so weird because I was just like, I had a guardian angel as a kid, and I was just kind of tuning in with that energy not 5 or 10 minutes ago. Interesting. Every time I saw a rainbow when I was a kid, I had this feeling. I don't know how to describe it. Let me know if you have a guardian angel in the comments. That would be a really interesting conversation. In the Middle Ages, the great painters of Europe drew halos above the heads of angels. This was the cosmic sign that these beings were ringed in spiritual light and were emissaries of God. Later on, saints, priestesses, magicians, and other celestial messengers, the literal meaning of the word angel, were also shown overlighted by a halo. Thus, divine glorification and initiation do occur within the human realm. Guardian angels are seen either as forces outside ourselves, keeping us from danger, or as soul aspects of our identities, even as our higher selves. I don't usually read the full-on version of these, but I think this is really interesting. So I'm going to keep reading it for you. You can just fast forward through if this is too long for you. While the part of the meaning of temperance is moderation and abstinence, the word's higher association is with the Latin tempor, a time period or season for all things under heaven. There's also a link to the Latin temporare, meaning to mix, blend, or regulate. Aleister Crowley, in designing his tarot deck, called this card art. To create beautiful art or music, one combines the angelic or higher forces of inspiration with physical materials and instruments. This is reminiscent of the age-old fascination with alchemy, the changing of lead into gold. I just listened to something on Merlin as an alchemist. Interesting. Where lead is the unenlightened personality and gold is the soul-infused spiritual disciple. In esoteric circles focusing on meditation, visualization, and magical rituals, there's a special goal that is often described as the attainment of conversation or communion with one's holy guardian angel. Apparently, all human beings are blessed with angelic presences who nurture and guide us during incarnation, but we each have an overlighting figure who might be termed our good angel, watching over us. We merge into this angel when crossing the threshold known as death. More and more people are discussing their revelatory experiences, which often include life-transforming encounters with a guardian angel or exalted light being. In children's stories, fairy godmothers, helpful wizards, and good fairies are variations of the greater theme of the guardian angel. When this card appears in your reading, open your heart and mind to the gentle rhythms that can restore your sense of balance and equilibrium. Often, when we are making major life changes, we need protection and guidance. As a young child, it is very important to feel safe. The Christian prayer calling on the guardian angel has brought peace to many children. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light and guard, to rule and guide. In much the same way as adults, we have learned to surround ourselves with white light when in danger or doubt. Do you feel safe and secure? Call for the assistance of higher forces. They will come and tenderly embrace you. Temperance ruled by Sagittarius. So thank you for sticking with me if you listen to that whole thing. This is by Isha Lerner and Mark Lerner. And I just loved the perspective of the the origins of the word, the etymology in Latin, meaning a time under the sun for all things. So there is a time under the sun for all things. Maybe that resonates with you. But what stood out to me was the presence of celestial beings like guiding you in your life. You might be connecting right now with your guides or guardians, or you might be opening yourself to channel. There is a time under the sun for all things. If this is new for you, connecting with your guides or your spirit guides or channeling, know that it's not permanent. It's a temporary thing. And so reminding ourselves of that as we're initiated into the spiritual lifestyle can help to make it a little less scary. I think spiritual like pathways can feel really inviting initially, and then you kind of get into the tough work of spirituality, or you're facing your shadows, or if you're moving through the chakra system, for instance, just meeting yourself where you're at, meeting your blockages in your physical body, and like learning how to breathe through that tension, breathe it out. And sometimes having emotional stuff come up, whatever it is you're experiencing, whoever I'm talking to is experiencing a deeper level of connection with ethereal beings, and maybe your own ethereal or astral like abilities. And it might be kind of weirding you out. Just know that there's a time and season for all things. Judgment. This is, you've stepped into a new lifestyle as well. Maybe you feel resurrected in a way, like this is something you've experienced before. Seven of Pentacles. Let's just say on Judgment, first of all, I'm noticing her heart is very open and she's dancing in her, this is her higher self, literally. There's no better card to depict the merging of the ego with the ethereal or higher self than Judgment, I think, in any tarot deck. That's amazing. So whatever you've experienced some sort of alignment or attunement. And the Seven of Pentacles means you have a lot of different things going on. This could just be the balance of the physical and spiritual, as well as the mental. The mental can also be a part of that. And I guess we shouldn't exclude the emotional, right? You might be feeling a little bit like you have a lot of things going on, but you're grounded. The Three of Cups reversed. You may be feeling lonely at this time. Ace of Cups reversed. Hangman, lots of water energy. Interesting. The time and season for all things could also be indicating this aloneness. Whatever this aloneness is that you're experiencing as a result of your encounter with the other side could be making you like feel a little bit lonely. But the guardian angel talks about needing to make sure that you feel safe and secure and protected, and that you can be sort of in your own space while you're learning to do something new, or while you're readying for a new chapter. So this aloneness is just you sort of gathering your resources, your energy, your focus before you go back out into the world. And so the Hangman is talking about maybe needing to see something from a different perspective. I'm guided to use the Ascended Masters cards. I don't know if any of these are your guides, but I'm going to pull a few. And if they are, just know that this is a little extra validation for those of you who might feel some doubt. I almost always call on Archangel Michael at the beginning of the reading, and Mother Mary and Kali. Ooh, Oshun, drink more water. Okay. So Oshun talks about being able to have clarity by remaining, well, by remaining clear. So Temperance is a really good card for remaining clear. Oshun is a really good card for remaining clear. So if you have been struggling with addiction or intoxication in any way, shape, or form, this is clarification that you'll feel better and clearer and safer if you nurture your inner child, which is asking you to allow the inner child to come out without needing the catalyst of intoxication in order to do that. The inner child wants to be seen regardless. So I won't say you need to be totally like off the wagon, but this is also an encouraging sign to take a break, or a little like a temperance break, a tolerance break. Meditate, reverse Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. So even if you're not religious, look at this. He's got the halo around his head, just like the angels. The system of yoga is one that is it's an internal practice that brings you through like the seven deadly sins, or the seven chakras, to attain samadhi, or oneness with the divine. So same principle as some religious concepts, but it is not a religion. Buddhism, of course, is. But if you know about Siddhartha, Siddhartha was born a prince who had everything he wanted and everything he needed, and was completely sheltered from the world. And then one day he met some sick people outside the walls or something of the palace, and it totally toppled his worldview. And then he proceeded to go learn about all the different lifestyles of poverty, and I think he stays with like a sex worker at one point, and like recognizes their lifestyle, and ends up becoming enlightened, because I guess because he was given everything he wanted, and then realized how privileged he was, but he had to see it through like this backwards lens, and he ends up just forsaking all material stuff and being just in the present, in the now, Buddha. So he might be a guide for you, but also this might be saying something about a change in perspective being needed, about how lucky you are. Like, you could be a really lucky person, or it's just you're being encouraged to see how protected you've been, how sheltered you've been. And I don't like to say like it could have been worse. I don't think that's really helpful to say to people generally, but I don't know, there's something here where you have a way of being able to look at the situation, so you can recognize like how lucky you are. The green man, retreat into nature. You might have a really special connection with nature. You might actually have seen the green man before. One time I saw the trees. It was the wind blowing through the trees, but it was like, there's really no way to describe, I guess there's really no way to describe it, but it was like a spirit, and almost like a big being walking through the trees. But it was, I just got this sense it was the green man. I don't know, I've always felt an affinity for this guide particularly. And King Solomon, interesting priorities. So King Solomon built the temple, the first temple of Solomon, that was ordained by the God of the Hebrews. I don't know. It was the first temple that was built with his permission. Also, the Temple of Solomon comes up a lot in tarot when like the high priestess arises, because the pillars on either side are from the Temple of Solomon, and they're made of brass. They're called Boaz and Yakin, and they mean to he has strength and he establishes. So you are establishing something with strength in your life. You are, if these are your guides, this is a validation for you. If you haven't connected with your guides, you can meditate on some of these guides, some of these principles, and then we'll get into a more traditional reading. But the thing about King Solomon that's interesting to me is like the transference of sound through brass, and the brass pillars on either side of the temple, as well as like ancient temples being built with certain frequencies of sound in mind, to help like heal through the prayers being like resonating through the brass outside of the church. So what you say matters a lot at this time. And even if people aren't listening to you and what you have to say, what you say, what you speak into your life matters. You're creating, you're co-creating with your divine, you're co-creating with your higher self, you're co-creating with your guides. So know you're not alone, and know that your words and your thoughts have power. Spend time in nature, drink water, take care of yourself, meditate. Easier said than done, really. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands reversed. The Hermit. I had a feeling the Hermit was going to come up in this reading. The Page of Swords reverse. Temperance. Oh no, Two of Pentacles reverse. Okay, interesting. So there's really no room in your life right now for flights of passion. Things feel a little bit imbalanced, or you feel a little out of balance. Page of Swords reversed can indicate that maybe like you really need to listen to your self-talk, like what it is you say about yourself, your capabilities, your possibilities. I posted today on Instagram this thing that was coming up for my Esther Hicks listen this morning. The thoughts you frequently think become your beliefs influence your actions, and your actions over time become results. So the Page of Swords reverse is telling me like negative self-talk, or you're learning how to recognize your self-talk. You're not quite at the point where you're changing it yet, but you're at least noticing it. You're at least like, oh, this isn't very nice. And you're taking solid steps or practical action to not let those thoughts run away with you, especially if they're like shameful. The Knight of Wands reverse is talking to me of shame right now. I guess because upright, he can be somebody who like gives into flights of passion. I feel like people who give into flights of passion and then it doesn't work out, like they feel shame, right? You're being seen though. Six of Wands and the Hermit. Because you're withdrawing, like your absence is being noticed by the people around you. And like if you thought your words didn't feel like they mattered, or your thoughts didn't feel like they mattered before, it's literally the void of you in the presence of others, like that creates this recognition of what you were doing to fill that void. And it's just temperance again, like everything in its own time. You can only be in somebody's space so much before they become sort of part of the general machinations of your life. It's the very saying, like, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I don't think this is a long absence. I think it's just a shift in the way you prioritize your energy. Taking more time to go into nature, more time to also nurture your own nature, whatever that looks like for you. Like, you could have been putting a lot of energy into other people or work, or just something that's not quite authentically you. And so you're taking that time to sit down and be authentically you right now. The Hierophant reverse, you may be avoiding spirituality. Justice reversed. Interesting. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Emperor reversed. I don't know if you're dealing with somebody. Oh, I know what this is. This is, I think, the larger, if you live in America, this is the larger like political picture. This is the Hierophant reversed is like establishments crumbling. It's things falling. It's things that used to work not working anymore. I have like these little sticky burrs on my shirt. It's injustice. Oh my gosh. Page of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. So you could be writing about injustices. And this is like a weird thing to come through with these particular cards, but if you're a person who like reports on injustice or economics or politics or something like that, this is a spirit encouraging you to write it down and not put it like on a software program. You got to handwrite it. And here's why this came through. Because if you write something down, you may not be able to do anything about it now. This is going to sound so out there. But if you leave, oh my God, this is Merlin coming through. Remember, I told you I listened to something about Merlin. What a trippy download this is. Merlin visits the past, right? Because he needs to find Arthur and help Arthur fulfill his destiny. And essentially, he visits the past because he's more in alignment with like the science of that realm, and he's able to do so. He's able to visit the past and be like, I need to affect your destiny. And when you write something down on paper, especially if it's like that paper that's made out of stone is waterproof, something that can last. You write something down on paper, it lasts and it changes the future. Whoever reads it in the future, even if they can't time travel, they're able to look at what the record says and hopefully learn from the past, right? So I just think about the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think about like all of those. I mean, we're still learning about so much of that. When I think about the Lilith, there was like this pot with a hollow bowl that used to be, they used to put these bowls down on the earth with inscriptions on them to like trap the spirit in the ground. And like those have been uncovered. I don't know. I think this is an old like Hebrew, or I don't know, an old Jewish like magic tradition. But they found a bunch of these pots that were like had inscriptions on them for burying curses in the earth essentially. And we don't know anything about that, but you know, if you take a curse up out of the earth, you don't know how to put it back. There's all these like crazy, anyway, the idea hopefully is that if you're a writer of any sort, or you're trying to keep some sort of record, keep a journal, something like that, especially if politics is like really affecting you right now, like just write down what you see. Like write down what the announcement was in the news that's bothering you, and then just write down what you notice in the people around you, like how it affects people around you. And hopefully that's enough to like help you feel like you're making a difference, because all these cards indicate like a lot of imbalance, a lot of feelings of like injustice or betrayal, or I don't know, like you might feel a little bit out of control. These cards can literally mean the crumbling of like societal foundations, you wanting to like go into the woods and just be left the f alone, right? Merlin is the archetypal hermit, so the number 9 might be standing out to you. I'd like to move on to something like maybe a little more positive. I think the mushroom hunters is an interesting deck to go to, because mushrooms are about transmuting dead energy into life, right? And there's processes that these like fungi have and that mushrooms have that we have no concept of how they work. The Page of Wands in this deck talks about cultivating enoki mushrooms, and this is like this fairy's farm, right? So there's something about needing to like sow your wild oats or something, because it's like reverse cultivation. 7 of Cups reverse. Sevens might be a number that you're seeing regularly. Sevens indicate like further initiation into spiritual lessons or spiritual tests. 9s are the completion of those. 2 of Wands, yeah, you're moving into some sort of these are chaga mushrooms, and chaga is like a medicine or an adaptogen. I think it's good for your mind and your immune system. You're being initiated, Queen of Cups reversed, into some sort of spiritual lesson by means of people being, oh my god, and Justice reversed again, by means of people being unkind to you. That sucks. 4 of Swords, give it over to Spirit, know you're protected. Like, that's what this is over and over and over again. You are protected. Whatever injustice you're experiencing, you are so, so, so protected. It's like you've got your guardian angel. We pulled from the Ascended Masters Tarot. You've got your guides here. You've got judgment with the higher self. And then you've got the 4 of Swords. Turn it over to Spirit. So whatever all this is, you are being seen. And I think that's why you're experiencing these tests. I think this is a psychic initiation. It's an initiation into learning how to deal with psychic attacks. This book is Psychic Self-Defense. Somebody gave it to me. My mom gave it to me. Let's see. What does it say? Protection Method 1. If any supernatural entity visits you, dried angelica, archangelica, is a powerful and pungent herb that repels any demonic invasion. Put a dish of dried angelica in each room of your home and scatter some on the ground outside the front and rear doors. It is also effective if you wear the herb, so acquire a locket and place some inside or pin a pouch of it to your clothing. Okay, protection method 2. This is for curses and black magic. There's different, like, interesting. There's different sections of this book. This is just the first one I turned to. It's called Bibliomancy. A cup of natural sea salt blended with a cup of dried herb horehound is highly effective at keeping demons away. So sprinkling this on the floor around your bed is the first step for a demon-free night. Whoa. Having a picture of Archangel Michael somewhere in the room will also help keep them at bay. Before you drift off to sleep, ask Michael to surround you in a positive light and protect you from venturing onto the negative astral planes during sleep. Whoa. So, oh, the next page is bookmarked. Generational or ancestral curses. This curse is more common than we think, and many families bound by the hex probably don't even realize it. The curse may have originated hundreds of years beforehand, or more recently. Wow. Could be a land dispute, substance abuse, again, like, or poverty. Whatever you've inherited or whatever you're dealing with, it looks like it could be generational curse. I'm hearing a bug trying to get out right now. Generational curses are locked into your aura from the moment of your birth. So in this instance, a salt bath or a quick candle ritual won't work. Combat this problem and reclaim your power in many ways, but sometimes breaking every link in the chain is impossible. So here we go. Set fire to the paper. Speak words below 9 times. Oh. This spell calls for it to be cast on the first day of a new moon. So that's today, right? When the energies around you will invite light and change into your life. That was yesterday. Our blood, today is fine too. Our blood is linked to our ancestors, so you must use a tiny amount of your own blood. You can purchase a finger pricker, the type diabetics use to test their sugar levels. That gives me chills. The first spell I ever did, my best friend had diabetes, and we used her finger pricker for it. Whoa, that's a trip. Okay, well, all curses bound to this bloodline I destroy this day. I remove these ties from years gone by. I unbind this evil and send it away. When you said the spell 9 times, remember I told you 9 closes out the spiritual lesson? Close the ritual by saying the following prayer. Angels, I ask thee to send comfort to my ancestors. Now the curse is lifted. Let them rest in peace. Fill our lives with light from the skies and surround us in your forever love. So might it be. Collect the ashes of the paper you've burned from the bowl and flush it down the toilet. Okay, so what you're supposed to write on the paper is your mother's maiden name and your father's surname on a piece of paper. Whoa! All right. Here's the book by Leanna Greenway and Belita Greenaway. Yeah, Belita. Okay. Thank you for that. What a trippy download. Whatever you've been experiencing, it is ancestral, inherited, 8 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles reversed. There's something about aloneness, Queen of Wands. It's like maybe one of your ancestors exchanged like a certain amount of sanity for magic, a certain amount of the ability to socialize for magic. One of your ancestors got magic somehow, and it was not like the deal wasn't what they thought they were getting. With the judgment reversed here, or justice reversed here twice, it's almost like, it reminds me of like one of those contracts you sign like in movies, that like a contract that was signed with like the devil, or there's always like a catch, right? Or like Rumpelstiltskin, where you got to give away your first kid or something like that. This is some crazy ancestral curse. So there's practical steps in this video for you to hopefully combat those. What a trip. I want to invite in a more positive message. Like, luckily, the only thing you got to do is like write your parents' names down on a piece of paper, put a little blood on there, and then like say a really lovely incantation, right? That's cool. That's an easy way to deal with the thing. You are safe. 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands reversed, the Tower, 6 of Cups, Tower reversed. Okay, 5 of Cups, Moon reverse, Knight of Swords reversed, and Hangman again. Something's keeping you stuck. Something over and over has been keeping you stuck. This is like trust issues. You have trust issues from your family line, maybe even depression with the Five of Cups here. Okay, I want advice. I'm gonna clear all this out. It's like the same energy over and over, and again, it just feels stuck. Like I don't want to give you some stuck stuff. Let's find just some good advice here. I think the good advice is in the ritual. I think it's also in the beginning of the video, like the thoughts you think create the beliefs. The beliefs you have create your actions. Your actions create results. So take things one step at a time. Then the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands are up right here. Just go slow. Take your time. Temperance is about that too, right? Everything in its own time. Let's see. One more just really nice card for you. I'm going to pull from the Guardian of the Night Tarot. I really want to pull a Universal Truths. So maybe two. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the torch of light that shines on every situation. It is the whisper of our soul's delight being heard loud and clear. Feeling enthusiastic keeps us amazingly alive, creating a momentum that produces extraordinary results. Enthusiasm is the producer of certainty and creativity, whereby we do not let others dampen or darken our spirit. Being an enthusiast keeps one's heart pumping because we awaken to the pulse of the universe. Enthusiasm is the spark that is magic for the logical mind, transforming a pessimist into an optimist. Owning our enthusiasm is a statement of our confidence and our connection. Like a matchstick, we light the way to miraculous events happening. Enthusiasm is the fusion of our courage and charisma with no doubt or confusion. I think, again, that just ties into that message of let your inner child come out without a need for a catalyst. Allow yourself to feel enthusiastic and feel lucky for what you have, because whoever I'm talking to, you are lucky. There are plenty of reasons for you to feel lucky, even if you don't see them now. I always encourage listening to Esther Hicks' affirmations. Changing your thoughts with intention is a really powerful tool, using affirmations 32, 22, 32, 23, and 24 on the timer. Okay, thank you, Scorpios. Remember, keep an eye out. I'll announce the winner of the February reading. And if you'd like to win a free reading for March, just put that in the comments, free reading, or just comment, and I'll choose a winner at the end of the month. Okay, thank you all for being here. Love you. Bye.